Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today, Houston Astros lose to the Pittsburgh Pirates 5-3. You know, I'm so upset with what we saw the Astros do today, and I'm not talking about on the field. I don't care about this loss. To be honest, I expected the Astros lose this game. Because, going into this game, it was a matchup where the Pirates had their best pitcher, Paul Skeens, on the mound, going up against what we thought would be Jake Bloss, which eventually turned into a bullpen day with Taylor Scott getting his first start of his career, which I will say Taylor Scott did a great job in the 3 innings that he pitched in this game. But honestly, I didn't think the Astros were going to win this one in the first place just because of the hard pitching matchup that we thought was going to be Jake Bloss and Paul Skeens. And Paul Skeens went out there today and pitched 6 innings, did give up 5 hits, but only gave up 1 run and had 6 strikeouts, and he's been terrific for a rookie. He has a 1.90 ERA. But I'm mainly upset at the Astros for what we saw the trade we saw today. I'm this more, I think upset or angry or any other word I could use for it is probably wrong. I think the best word I could use is absolutely disgusted. The Astros traded for Yusei Kikuchi, who, look, I don't have a problem with Yusei Kikuchi. I think he's a solid pitcher. The ERA is definitely questionable. It's not good. But look, I think Yusei Kikuchi, him coming in, I think he's better than Spencer Arrighetti, and I think he's better than Jake Bloss. Just off of what we've seen this year. I'm not saying he's better than Jake Bloss's future. I'm just saying than what we've seen from Jake Bloss this year. So he's not a bad addition. And if you look at his ERA outside of his last couple starts, it isn't that bad. I mean, his last 4 starts have been really, really, really bad. So I don't know what's been going on with him in his last 4 starts, but his ERA was like 3-something before, or maybe lower before his last 4 starts. In his last 4 starts, he's given up 5 runs, 4 runs, 7 runs. Or that's his last 3 starts, my bad. So last 3 starts, 5 runs, 4 runs, and 7 runs he's given up. So his ERA was below 4. It was like 3-something before we saw him in his last 3 starts. So he's not a bad starting pitcher. He definitely hasn't been great this year, but we've seen him other seasons where he's done some good things. He doesn't have great control. So there's just a lot of things you can complain about this trade. I don't think it's a bad addition for the Astros. I think what makes this a bad addition is what the Astros gave up. The Astros gave up Will Wagner, they gave up Jake Bloss, and they gave up the most hurtful part about this is that they gave up Joey Loperfido. I'll be honest with you guys. If this was a trade where the Astros had maybe 2 years of control, like where the Astros had him under contract for this season and then had him under contract for the next 2 seasons, I'd be like, okay, well, I think this trade is probably gonna hurt us in the future, but this is someone who's gonna be with us for the next couple years in our starting pitching rotation. But no, this is someone who is a free agent after this season. So the Astros trade away Joey Loperfido, a guy who's been absolutely amazing in the minor leagues this year, and even has come to major leagues and done really good. Also, Jake Bloss, who is a guy who, yes, he's been terrible in the major leagues with a 6 ERA, but this is also a guy who went straight from Double A to the major leagues. This is a guy who's a top 10 prospect, wasn't expected to make his major league debut until 2026. But due to injuries, the Astros brought him up this year in 2024. He was just drafted last year. So, I think that he had a good future. You just had to give him more time. And then with Will Wagner as well, this is a guy in AAA this season. He has had a 300 batting average. So I don't really mind trading Will Wagner. That doesn't really upset me because the Astros really didn't know what to do with him. And I think they weren't confident in putting him at first base. They weren't confident in putting him at third base because of some defensive issues there. I don't think they minded playing him at second or first. So I don't really mind the Astros trading Will Wagner. But Jake Bloss and Joey Loperfido is what upsets me in this trade. But let's ignore the trade because I'm upset with the trade the Astros made, and honestly, I blame Dana Brown, and I don't know how Dana Brown made this much of a stupid trade. It upsets me, and I'm seeing so many people saying fire Dana Brown. I've been saying fire. I've been seeing Dana Brown. Let's fire Dana Brown for probably a year now since when the Astros traded for Justin Verlander. I remember a lot of people upset about that, and I brushed it off. I've been brushing it off until now. I've been brushing off firing Dana Brown, Joe Espada. I think Joe Espada has done a decent job in the second half of the season. I don't think he needs to have his job removed yet. But this trade, if you're Jim Crane in the Astros organization, you can't but help to wonder, what the hell did we just do here? We just gave up, a top 10 pitching prospect, who's absolutely killed it in the minor leagues and is so young and has 6 more years of control. Also, Will Wagner, a guy who's a 300 batting average this year in AAA, and Joey Loperfido, a guy who's absolutely killed it in AAA this year and has been very solid with like a 240 batting average in the major leagues with the Astros, for someone who has a 4.75 ERA and is a free agent after this season. If you're Jim Crane, you have to potentially, if there's not another trade that we're like, okay, this is a great move by Dana Brown, and that this is it. It's Yusei Kikuchi, and we give up Joey Loperfido, Will Wagner, and Jake Bloss for him. You have to potentially be thinking about firing Dana Brown at the end of the season. I mean, that is a terrible move. But I don't want to talk about this trade anymore. I want to go over this game. I don't care win or loss. The Astros could have won this game. I still would have been upset. It still would have felt like a loss with the trade that the Astros made. It really would have felt like a loss, even if the Astros won this game. Let's go over the game, though. 5-3 is final score. I'm going to go over this quick because I'm so upset. But 9 hits for the Astros, 6 hits for the Pirates, 3 errors for the Pirates. I mean, I don't know how Pirates have 3 errors and still can't get a win. Win goes to, of course, Chapman. 4-4 record this season. 1 inning pitch, 1 hit, 0 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, 0 walks. And while we're talking about Dana Brown potentially being fired, here's one of his brilliant moves. Look, I'm not hating on Josh Hader, because Josh Hader has actually had a great bounce back year this year, but this is the guy that Josh Hader gave $75 million to. This is the guy that Dana Brown gave $75 million to. Pitched the 9th inning, of course, gave it 3 runs, 2 walks, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. I'm not going to defend Josh Hader, but got in a little bit of trouble. Gave up. It's not like he gave up 3 hits. He gave up 2 walks. So 2 runners were on, and then he gives up a home run hit to Taylor, and that was 3 runs, and Astros lost the ball game because of it, of course. Save goes to Bednar. He's 19th save of the year. Gave it 2 hits, 1 run, 2 walks. Astros had a chance in this 9th inning, down 5-2, believe it or not. Let's go over the scoring summary. Jose Altuve grounded into fielder's choice to third. Myers scored on fielding error by third baseman Hayes, and Singleton scored. Caratini to second. It's 2-0. 6th inning, a home run for the Pirates. Grandal with a home run to right, 388 feet, 2-1. O'Neal Cruz ties the game with an RBI double in the 8th. Trillo scores. Reynolds to third, 2-2. And Taylor with his 3-run shot in the 9th inning, 421 feet. Hayes and Trillo score. It's 5-2. Yordan Alvarez in the 9th inning had an RBI walk with the bases loaded. Cartini scored. Altuve to second. Cabbage to third. It was 5-3 after that. So Yainer Diaz had the bases loaded with 2 outs, and a base knock would have ended up tying the ball game most likely, because Cabbage would have scored easily from third, of course. Altuve, with his speed, most likely would have scored to second. So all the Astros needed was a base hit from Yainer Diaz, and the Astros would have ended up, having a tie game at 5-5, and then The Astros brought in Chas McCormick in for Yordan Alvarez as a pinch runner. So if you think about it, maybe even a hard hit double through the gap potentially wins the ball game for the Astros with Yanner Diaz there. But nope, that's what Yanner Diaz did in the ball game. He popped out to shortstop. So that's all right. Yanner Diaz had a great series against the Dodgers. So he had a 2-run home run yesterday, had a huge triple for the Astros in the 8th inning on the 5-0 comeback on Saturday. So not hate on Yanner Diaz because he had a great series against the Dodgers. But yeah, let's go over the Astros individual hitters. Altuve went 2 for 4 today with a single to center. He also had a single to left to load the bases in the 9th inning. And he had a walk in the 7th, and he had the 1 RBI in the 5th inning with the fielder's choice that turned into another run due to an error. Let's go over Bregman, 1 for 5 today. Struck out 2 times, flat out, and lined out with a single to right. Yordan Alvarez went 2 for 4 today. Chas McCormick came in for him late in the game after his RBI walk as a pinch runner. Yanner Diaz went 1 for 5. He struck out 2 times today, grounded out and popped out with a double to center in the 4th inning. Jeremy Pena went 0 for 3 today with a walk in the 6th. John Singleton went 1 for 2 today. He scored a run, had a single to right in the 5th, and walked in the 6th inning. Mauricio Dubon replaced him for 1 at-bat in the 8th inning and struck out swinging. Jake Myers went 0 for 3 today with a 5th inning walk, and that was it. Scored a run. Victor Caratini, 2 for 3. Only player outside of Yordan Alvarez or Jose Altuve to have multiple hits in this game. He was hit by a pitch in the 5th inning, had a single to right to eventually get thrown out at second base because he was out stretching at second, and then a single to center in the 9th inning. So he scored 1 run going 2 for 3, and then Trey Cabbage went 0 for 3. He had a walk in the 9th inning to get Caratini to second, and then 2 strikeouts in his first 2 at-bats and a ground out to shortstop in the 7th inning. Let's go over the Astros pitching. This was a bullpen day due to trading Jake Bloss and scratching him from his start. Taylor Scott pitched 3 innings, giving up 0 hits, 0 runs, 0 walks. He had 4 strikeouts, so he was amazing. He's been amazing all year. Caleb Ort would pitch 2 2/3, gave up 2 hits and 1 run, 1 strikeout. Not bad at all. He's been good in his first couple outings of his Astros career. 1.59 ERA. Brian Abreu came in, pitched the last out of the 6th inning. Yeah, 6th inning, and then pitched the 7th inning as well. And he gave up 1 hit with 3 strikeouts and 1 walk. So not bad by Abreu. And then Ryan Presley came in the 8th, pitched 2 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. Hader went over him in the 9th. 1 hit, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. I know people will hate on Presley and Hader being terrible in this game, but let's also remember that these 2 guys have been absolutely fantastic in the last, month and a half, 2 months. So, look, I'm not going to get all upset about both of those guys struggling. Yes, this is something we saw from these 2 guys earlier in the year, but this is something we do not see from them I was about to say, often, but this is something we don't see from them at all. Rarely see this from them anymore. So this is one bad outing for them that both of them had in a while, and so I'm not going to really get upset about Presley or Hader struggling in this game. If this is something that continues to happen after these 2 guys pitching amazing recently, then it is most likely a problem again. But this is one game, so I'm not going to get too upset about Presley and Hader. Let me know your thoughts on the Astros losing 5-3 and making the worst trade I've ever seen them make. I've been an Astros fan since 2017. I've been watching the Astros. I started watching the Astros when I started watching sports. I've been going to Astros games since 2014, 2015. I just didn't get into sports until 2017. So I've really been an Astros fan my whole life, but I didn't really start watching them until 2016, 2017. And this is the worst trade I've seen them make since then. I can't think of another trade that's been worse than this. And there's been some bad trades, but this is the worst one I've seen. Let me know your thoughts on the Astros losing 5-3 in the comment section, and peace out. Go Astros.